remember much about it because I was young. This last plantation was, I remember, very good. But I can remember way back in the day, my papa plowing with a plow, and I remember him saying, "Whoa, mule." I can remember that. Way back in the day, so young, I don't know how old I was. I don't remember much else. That's the first time on the other plantation they did it. I remember him saying, "Well, they be a whoa, mule." And I can remember when we did it, we had to bring water from the river. They had to get it from the river and boil it. And on the old cast iron stove, it tastes strange, but it was boiled. I can remember those two things way back. And another thing I can remember way back, I don't know when. You know, when you're so young, you can remember certain things. I remember it was rationing. Rationing. I think it was sugar and different stuff. Way back in the day, I thank God for letting me think about that. The water, if you drink water now, don't take it for ration. You have to get it from the river, boil it, sterilize it. I thank you, God. Amen. Thank God for that. Back in the day. Yes. Also back in the day, the ushers would do the walking and the preacher would do the talking in the sanctuary. They would honor and worship God in the sanctuary. Honor him by not doing a lot of talking and you know, it says about saying your own words and doing your own thing. Well, back in the day, they were doing that. And guess what? They made it. Yes, amen. So why stop now? Let's go on back to the day, back in the day, today. All right? All right, we thank God for that testimony. At this time, I'm going to ask our minister, Ross, to give us a song.
You gave me my hand to reach out to men, to show them your love and your perfect plan. You gave me my ears so I can hear your voice so clear, so I can hear the cry of sinners, but can I wipe away their tears? You gave me my voice to speak your word to those who chose not, and to those who never heard. And with my eyes see on me, for more availability. So many hearts have been broken, so many people need to be free. Lord, I'm available to you. My will I give to you, to do what you say you do. Oh, show the world the way, and enable me to stay. I'm so ready, and I am available to you. Now I'm giving back to you all the tools you gave to me. My hands, my eyes, my voice, my ears, so you can use your magic things. But when my eyes see your need, for availability,
in the army of the Lord. Thank God for Minister Ross for that selection. And at this time, we have 3 incredible speakers, and we ask them to, they're going to talk about back in the day.
All right.
So we're going to start with our Mother Wallace. I know the last time we had chairs out when y'all was just talking, but I didn't know if that's what you all were talking about. All right, so we're going to have our Mother Wallace to be our first speaker.
Amen.
Back in the day. I was way back in the day. I would be 75 years old on this in March, so I was way back there in the day. And back in the day, they had some of the things we had, but they didn't look like what we have now. They had on this corner, on this wall here, some of the things that we had back in the day. First was the tub. The tub when you had to take a bath.
Number 3 tub.
Whichever size it is, the tub. And you had to take a bath in that tub. The whole family had to take a bath in that tub. And we didn't think about anything about no dirt from nobody else or anything, because it was all we had. It was a natural thing to do. So we didn't think we was getting somebody else's dirt, or the way the kids today would say, I'm not getting in that tub because she just like that. We didn't think nothing like that, because that was all we knew. That's what we knew to do, so that's what we had to do. And we just keep adding a little more hot water, add a little more hot water. Everybody got finished, 2 of them would grab each handle, take it out and dump it in the backyard. And the grass came up. Right. But we thank the Lord for that. So when you were just going to wash up, you had the wash basin. And some of you might have seen this in cowboy pictures. You see it? But this, I had one of these. I've had a lot of these things, which I tried to fix right now, but I had to count. But I had one of these. Mine was green and white. And you just take the water, it's room temperature, you just pour it into the wash basin, get your soap and washcloth, wash your face or whatever you got to wash. And that's what we used for just to wash up. We didn't have a sink. Go and turn on the hot water. We didn't have none of that. We had to use the water we had available to us. And like Bishop Wallace had to go to the well and get water. His family, they had to go out in the yard to get water from the well. They had to prime the old well, throw a little water in there, prime it, pump it up. And that's called prime the well. So that's how they got water. And that water stunk for a long time, but it tasted good. But it was, I think they say sulfur water. But that water was awful. And then we had typewriters way back when, like this. But when I was in school, I learned on a blind typewriter, which means there were no letters on it at all. There were no letters. So you couldn't cheat to learn to type. You had to type and figure out where your fingers were. So that's how I learned to type. So it's easy for me to type without looking at it, because I learned on a blind keyboard. And you just had to, they show you where to place your fingers, taught you where the letters were, and you had to type like that. And I learned, I was up to like 120 in school, but I'm way down now. So that's what the typewriters way back when. And this is some postcards. Way back in the day. And this one we talk about the scale, weight and balance, weights and balance. See, this is the weights here. So you have to balance this side with this side of the scale, because the weights are on here. So like he was talking about, if they push a little extra on there, you're cheating on that scale. So you got to have this and this even to know that you're getting a perfect amount that you're supposed to get. And this little part in here is the gauge that move back and forth. If you wanted a pound, you put it there. If you wanted 2 pounds, you put it here, half a pound. Well, this regulated how far, and the weights would even up with that amount of grain or whatever you was getting. And this right here is an ice pick. We were talking about the ice box a few weeks ago. And this pick would go down to chop the ice off, to give you some ice off. And the hooks were what you use to pick it up, to put it in your ice box. Not a refrigerator, but an ice box. No electricity to it at all.
Amen.
This is the only thing, the ice was the only thing that kept your food in the ice box. In the ice box. It had a refrigerator. And this is an old basketball. Don't ask me how it bounced. I see a little hole there for air, but it doesn't look like, somebody said it looked like a metal ball. But it was an old basketball. It was just like that. Old basketball. And then this was one of the first TVs. But she got part of it, the knobs and stuff, so you could see the knobs. This was one of the first TVs. Our TVs didn't have any color, barely had black and white. And when you could get it in. And back in the day, our TVs were great. We get a coat hanger and stick it down in there and put a coat hanger around. And it made your TV work. We didn't have no remote to sit across the room. We had to get up, walk over there. That's why we weren't all fat and stuff when we were there. Because we had to go do things. We don't have to go do nothing anymore. So you just sit there and get fat and take the remote and carry on. And so back then, we had to get up. And I remember when we first got a color screen, it wasn't really a color screen, it was a piece of paper, which was red, green, that you put over top of your TV screen. And that was your color TV.
No flat screen?
And I remember the first TV that we had in the church in Lexington. Only one person had a TV in the whole church, and that was Bishop Rollins. And he allowed every church member to come there every Saturday night.
Amen.
And we would watch TV all together, everybody. We didn't have no bickering, no arguing. We had a good time, sat on the floor.
Amen.
Wherever you could get, we were fitting in. And we watched TV all night, wrestling and stuff like that. All night until he got tired and said time to go. but we gathered together. We talked, we played games, you know. We socialized with one another. That's what we're missing today. We're missing socializing. That's how you get close with one another.
Exactly.
You don't have to tell all your business to a friend to be my friend. You don't have to tell all that. You get close to them and you can feel, and you just pray. I can feel when somebody needs some prayer, whether they're smiling or not. So that, you know, but that's the way we were. We were all together. Most of the time we were together. That's why this church often reminds me of being in the church in Lexington. Because we're a church family, a true family. You know, we have ups and downs, trials, tribulations, whatever. But we don't get mad and walk out on each other, curse each other out, or all that stuff. We try to work it out. And if we can't work it out, we pray it out. And I know prayer works.
Yes, it does.
We keep on getting together and being together. We will come out and become a better church for it. That's why when people walk in, they said, I felt the love. That's because we have love already in here. They can't walk in the door and feel love if it's not here. But if it's already here, they say, well, I walked in and I felt the love. Whether they come from out of town or just visiting from in town or wherever. Most people walk in that door and say, I felt the love when I walked in. Okay, let's move on. This was the iron that we had to use. This for iron. You had to set it on your stove and heat the iron up. Oh, yeah, it is. All right, you had to set it on your stove. This is it. And heat the iron up, and then you would iron your clothes with this. I don't ever remember burning anything with this iron. Except myself. Except myself. And that's the kind of iron that we had to iron with. My grandma had one of these irons, and she used to iron with that. And then on here we have two kinds of foam. Probably saw these on the movies too. Yeah. Yes, you have this, use your finger. Go back and forth. And that's what we used to have hanging on the wall in the kitchen. Yep. And look at the little receiver box. Look at that. And with it, hello, you know, you had to get to that and stay close to the box. Yep. Because you had to speak into this in order to hear what the other person was saying. So they had this little bell type looking thing for your ear, and you had to stay next to it to speak into the box. But we didn't think think anything about it. That was something good to us. And then we had clothespins, and I still hang my clothes out on the line sometimes. I hang stuff out on the line. And we use these clothespins, which were a little bit bigger. And then they had the ones that didn't have the spring, which is just a little ball on top and two pieces on the side. And push it down on your plug. And this cast iron skillet is one of the best things to cook in ever.
Yes,
Amen.
Excuse me, to cook in ever. I have a big one. I used to have a real huge one that I did fish in on Saturday night. And but this is one of the best kind skillets to have. And the first lady was telling somebody you have to mix it, you have to season it.
Yes.
Once you season it and keep it seasoned, then it would never stick or never rust or any of that kind of stuff. But this is the best kind of skillet you can have. Now this little one you can cook an egg in. You should use this one. You can cook an egg or something very small in, and it will come out perfectly. I don't know what the big pen is, but we'll go back over here first. Some of we're gonna leave the first page. All right, these were different types of graters that we had in the kitchen. All these different types of graters. Now they have a little machine to do. That's it. It's already graded up.
Yeah.
So we had to grade by hand and do everything by hand. So this was the grader. We just have something called a sifter also.
I remember
And
that.
we put the flour, the sift your flour and the salt and everything together for cake. And just shake it and cut out until you, and then little lumps are left inside. You'd be surprised how the little lumps they would be left in the strainer after you have put it through. It makes your flour and stuff very, very smooth. And then we go to some of the games that we play. Like you see in these pictures, most of these people are white people. Because we didn't really have all this stuff for a long time. But these kids have tricycles that look, when the church is over, you can look at these and see what they look like. So I did have a wagon. I had a red wagon, what they got flyer. I had a red wagon. So I did have a wagon before. And then they had, go to the movie theaters, and we had a theater that looked just like this in Lexington. And they would look like this, but see, no black people in this line. So you didn't go to the same theaters back then. You had to go to a different theater. So this was a white people's theater. And then we have over here hopscotch, which we still know about today.
Oh, yes.
But they look like they played a little different, because there's some stuff on there, I don't know what that is. And then we had stickball. They call it baseball, softball, whatever now.
2 minutes.
But all you had was a stick and a ball. Sometimes you didn't even have a ball, you had to make a ball. And then you made it out of old socks, and balled it up until it was hard, and put something around it to keep it together, and play ball with that. We was out there in the streets all the time playing stick ball. But as I said, and we played marbles. I did play marbles.
Yeah.
We had marbles, and we had basketball,
Jacks.
and jacks, and, I have some other, what's some of the stuff? Pick up sticks, jump rope, hide and seek, Simon said,
Red light, green light.
red light, green light. We had a lot of old games that kept us moving.
Yeah.
Not sitting at home playing a game on a
Amen.
computer, a tablet or phone or whatever. You were out there moving every day. But when that sundown, Mom said, be home before the street lights come on. You better be on that porch before the street lights came on. And she didn't play either, because she said, you better be here. I remember I was like about 16 or 17. And we called ourselves trying to court some little, I don't know, I must have been about 15. Trying to court some boys or something. We would walk it up to Douglas Park, and I lived on Ash Street. And we walked up there, and they told us to be home a certain time, we wasn't home. My aunt and my mom come walking up there with these long switches. We up there with some boys trying to be cute. Ah, Lord, they beat us all the way home. In front of the boys, everybody was laughing. So from there on, you know you better be home when that street light go. I don't care how old you are. They say, come here. I remember my sister's 22 years old, and she didn't come home on time. My mom threw something at her and hit her right in the head. They told me to take her to the hospital. Because she knew she was going to get arrested for hitting her in the head. So,
Tell something.
but you know, I mean, the parents didn't play back then.
Amen.
They get a racetrack, they get a belt, plant up some switches, and make you go get your own switch off the tree. Go get that switch, go up and you have webs all over your body. You try that now, you would make it, you know. But that's why the kids are so bad now. I was talking to my therapist. He was like, yeah, you gotta get him and let him know. And he's a Japanese man. He said, yeah, you gotta get him. I told him, I said, I'm Jewish. I don't celebrate Christmas. He said, oh, you Jewish? I said, yeah. He said, oh, you don't mind me playing my music? But he's always playing church music, regular church music. I said, oh no. I said, I have nothing to do with what you play. I said, I just don't celebrate Christmas. So he was like, well, you know, I had one customer that was a Jew, and he came in and I was playing my music, and he said, you need to turn that off. And went and reported him that the therapist would try to convert him to Christianity.
Wow.
And he said, I got in trouble. He said, I didn't know if I better turn it on with you or not. I said, oh no, you don't have to worry about me. You do you and I do me. But you know, sometimes we just don't know. Just don't know what's going to happen. And then we had different kinds of candy back in the day. Some of them are still around. Good old honey. I think Lady Rose was talking about this one last night. The Chico stick.
Chico stick.
Yeah, the Chico
It
stick.
only take 5 minutes.
And Atomic Fire, which is almost like Red Hot. They were similar to Red Hot, but they're round, they're bigger. And then the Turkey Taffy, I remember that one very well. And then we had Wax-O Wax. Some were lips, some were mustaches, well, some were bottles that look like Coca-Cola bottles. And you bite the head off of the top and drink up whatever liquid is inside of these. And we used to drink these all the time, buy these. And then when you finish with, you chew it. You chew the stuff. Wax, number wax. You chew those and have a good time. Now, don't ask me how to pronounce this name. You can go out, you can help yourself. Help yourself.
Scrumdiddlyumptious.
All right.
Scrumdiddlyumptious.
One more detail. I've never even heard of this candy bar in my life. I saw that, I'm like, what? I didn't see that one before. But I hope it was delicious. I suppose it was. And this was BB Bet. I don't know who remembers BB Bet.
Amen.
But they had these in different flavors. They were really good. And then they had kits. But I think nowadays, these are now ladies.
Yeah.
Because they look just like now ladies, but they were very, very soft. They were soft. Really soft. And they were good too. And then Joyce said she remember having some of these. I ate 6 of them. Yeah. And then I never heard of the holiday bar. I never heard of that one. Good and plenty that you can get in the movies most times. So these are some of the things that, you know, that we used to have. We got this one right here, the Abba-Zaba right here. Abba-Zaba, I commanded to return these. And then they had the big hump.
Oh, yeah.
The back of the day candies. Now, they still make them. Most of these candies you can order and have. I had planned to order up some, but I never did get a chance to get there and get them ordered up. But anyway, back in the day, things were so much different in my paper. This is one of the things I saw that says, this is back in the, huh? What are you saying?
First lady said,
What?
first lady said, continue on, baby, we gonna.
No. All right, this says, this is what mom said now and what she said back in the day. That word, mom now, if you say a bad word, she said, oh, that word was inappropriate. Now, in the back in the day, they say that again and I'll wash your mouth out with soap.
And they did.
Now they say, good job trying one bite of the dinner I made. Now you can have mac and cheese. Back in the day, say, you eat what I make, whether you like it or not. There are starving children in the world. Then they would say, I see you upset. Take a deep breath and use your words. Back in the day, say, you better stop crying or I'll really give you something to cry about.
Say, you ain't crying.
Now they say, you can't walk around the blocks by yourself. I'll drive you. Text me when you need a ride back. And back in the day, say, you want to go out? Take your bike. Be home before dark. Back in the day, today they say, I pack you a Binto box with almond butter and whole grain kale chips. And back in the day, say, take this brown paper bag with the bologna sandwich and Wonder Bread and grab a Twinkie and a Hawaiian punch.
Right. Hopefully they have
That was the difference back in the day. All right, Troy said my time is up. I had a few songs from back in the day, so
Well, we gonna let you sing at the end.
later on I'll go over a couple of songs that I had from back in the day. All right, thank you very much.
Personally, I would give you my What's-
We just wanna play a little bit of this. This is our chief apostle. All right, that was our chief apostle.
that's right.
If I were you, I would make a change.
Oh, yeah.
And this was, did you talk about? What? The tin tub, they got inside and our the Ron got inside to show us how they was washing. He put his whole little self up in there. In this, well, his tall self.
How we
In this
were
little
washing.
bit, how y'all used to wash? Okay, thank you.
No, we-
All right,
Just the tub, I remember we took a bath in.
all
the
right,
kitchen.
Bishop Wallace.
Oh, you did?
We did, because we didn't have no bathroom. We took a bath in there.
Yeah, you did.
Don't hit my man.
We're thanking and praising God for back in the day. And to be able to know Lady Wallace covered a lot of things. But I remember back in the country, in New Zion, she talked about the ice box. Every day, the iceman would come around and bring us a block of ice to be able to put in the ice box. Every day he would do this. And that's why they called it the ice box. It wasn't called a refrigerator. Refrigerator didn't come till later on. And also, they had the egg man to be able to come around selling eggs. And also the milkman to come around.
Yes, I remember that.
And this is how that they did things. They did things according to the way it was back in the day. We didn't have the convenience that you have. And I remember back in the day that when I was little, I used to ride my scooter up and down the road. We didn't have no sidewalks. And my father, he worked across the road in this man's farm. And I had a German Shepherd. And one day my German Shepherd got out and went across the way and killed one of the sheep. And they killed my dog because of this. Now, mind you, if it had been today's time, they would serve some time in jail. But wasn't nothing done. You killed my sheep, I'm gonna kill your dog. And that's the way it was. I had a German Shepherd. It was a nice looking German Shepherd.
Lane.
No, that's when I was a little boy. You wouldn't even thought about me.
Oh, good.
I was in New Zion. That's about 9 miles from Lexington, Kentucky. And like I said, if you blink your eyes, you miss the town. That's how small the town was there in New Zion. And also I had a cousin that had a store there. I walked to the store and I get some candy for a penny. Now Lakers had let me see, those, I can't remember the name of it, but it was they were brown, light brown and dark brown spots on them, can't remember the name of the candy. Used to get a lot of those. And,
Oh, I know what he's talking about. It's got peanut butter. It's like.
yeah.
They sell them. They sell them there. They know they
No,
square.
I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, white, they got the lines on.
Yes, they got the line on it.
American.
And I used to go to the store, and like I said, I know they had Mary Jane's back in that day. And, but it wasn't Mary Jane's, it was a clear package that they were in, real small. And also you get good bubble gum for a penny.
Joe Gann.
And, but like I said, you go to the store now, you spend X amount of dollars trying to get candy. But back in the day, you could be able to get all these things, and they were very good. And like I said, it didn't cost a lot. And like I said, going to the store, the country store, it wasn't like the country stores are today. And like I said, I could go in and get whatever I wanted because my cousin, you know, like I said, his mother and them, they owned the store. And we could be able to get whatever we wanted. And also on the main street, my Aunt Sally had a store there. And that was in, like I said, in New Zion. I remember all these things. And back in the day, I remember my grandfather when I was a real little boy. I remember him, he didn't believe in banks. So he would take money and put it in a jar and put it in the ground. And I told my grandmother and him about it before they started this land, that they sold the land and everything like that, and they turned the land over and they started building homes on it. And I said there was a lot of money in that area where he buried the money at. But a lot of times, you know, we couldn't be able to buy things. And I tried, when I got older, to try to buy the land. But I couldn't do that. But I thank God for how God has blessed down through the years, how that all the things that we have is because of God. And things have become modernized now, whereby at nighttime, we had outhouses. And at nighttime, we did not go out to the outhouse. You had a slop jar in the house. And a slop jar was a bucket with a lid on it. And whenever you used it, you put the lid back on it. But in the morning, you took it out to the outhouse and dumped it out and cleaned the outhouse. And you cleaned the slop jar out to be able to take it back into the house at nighttime, because you didn't go out to the outhouse at nighttime because there was all kind of critters out there. There were snakes out there. There was possums. There was skunks. And all kind of things out there at nighttime. So you didn't go out at nighttime. But we did all these things, and I look at things now, they have outhouses on these construction sites. And they call them porta potties. And they come back, periodically they come back and clean those things out. Those porta potties, and they put some disinfectant in there and make it look real nice, because I know on my job, I had to go to the porta potty many times because we were doing construction work. And we didn't, the building was not completely set up to be able to use the restroom. So you had those porta potties out there, and you use those. And after you got out, they had a place where you to wash your hands, and like I said, wash your hands and be able to go back to work again. And this is how things were set up. But years ago, it was called the outhouse. And what you did around the outhouse, you spread lime around there. Lime killed a lot of the odors. Because I know a lot of times on my job, I have to be able to spread lime under people's houses if they have an overflow of the sewage. That lime kills the odor, and it kills bugs too. And like I said, you have to put a mask on when you start spreading that lime out, because if it gets in your lungs and everything, it can cause hazardous to your body. But we used that years ago around the outhouse to be able to keep it clean, smelling. But knowing that the outhouse, all you had, like I said, all you had was a piece of wood sitting in there, with a hole in it. And you set on that piece of wood. And down in there, you like I said, you didn't look down in there or anything like that, because there's all kind of stuff down in there. It wasn't cleaned out like they do today, that they have sanitation department be able to come out and clean out the sewer line. There's all kind of stuff down in the outhouse. And I can't remember where they, what they did. Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Now, toilet tissue wasn't part of,
No, ma'am, they didn't have toilet tissue, man. Whatever, you use newspaper, you corn husk, and you didn't have no toilet paper.
biodegradable, I heard.
No, it wasn't about
It goes biodegradable.
and whatever you had to be able to wipe yourself with, that's what you used. You didn't have the toilet paper like they do nowadays. No, they didn't have the toilet paper, no. They came later on. Whatever you had to wipe yourself with, that's what you used when you went in there. They have the Kleenex and you take the paper, you take the newspaper, and you just kind of, soften it up, you move it around. And like I say, once you move it around, it becomes softer to be able to go on your.
So the lie, the lie, if it's harmful, so what does it smell like? It's
Not
like
lime.
So what lime?
Oh,
So was
lime.
that lime like that
Oh,
thing
lime.
that they put in the toilet and make it smell?
No. It's white. It's white. It's a powder. It almost looks like a baby powder. And if you want to I'll bring some next week so you can be able to see it.
So they still got it.
Oh yes, they use it. I use it a lot of times on my jobs. You spray it out.
If y'all ain't got no toilet paper over in Compton.
No, it's not that. No, lie. I said, oh my God.
You gonna do I give IDs and they have.
But these are the things that, like I said, you're not familiar with. Now, you think about modern times now, you got toilet paper.
With milk in it.
And a lot of times, if you ever worked in like I say, some of these clothing stores, and you go in the restroom in these toilets, people from other countries, and sometimes in America, they take the toilet paper and throw it on the floor.
Oh, yeah,
They don't flush it. They don't flush it. Now, mind you, it's not only in Mexico, but there's other nationalities that do this. Samoans do that. No, I'm talking here in America. The Samoans, because I've been in some of their restrooms, and I said, oh no. They put it in the corner. They don't flush it down the toilet because they say, well, in their country, they can't flush paper down the toilet. So they think they're in their country. But in America, you can flush the paper down the toilet. Because I was a maintenance man in a store, and I said, oh no. Some of the stuff that you see in places make you think back to the days of old. But in certain countries, they do not flush paper down the toilets. And mind you, I've been in people's houses to be able to do work in there. And I said, what in the world? The smell that you get from that, it's not good for you. And back in the day, this is what they did, but now you don't have to do that. You don't have to have a slop jar in your house. Unless you choose to do that. Because I know some people, they're bedridden, and you have to be able to put a pan up under them to be able to catch their waste and everything like that. And you have to be able to clean them up. So Juanita may know something about that. Clean up these patients. Because I remember when I had to do my father like that. He was bedridden. And they changed his pampers and everything like that. Wash him up. And being as strong as he was, like I said, that weight that he had, because it's hard to be able to turn him over, clean him up and everything like that. But back in the day, you didn't mind doing all these things. But you have a job that you have to do, you have to be able to do some of these things. And it's not easy. Mind you, it's not easy. And some people say, oh yeah, I'll be a nurse any day. Being a nurse, causes a lot of things that the pressure on the person that's taking care of them. Because I know Sister Cornelia, like I said, a lot of times on her job, she said, well, I can do that for you, Granddaddy. I said, no.
Did they have midwives back then? Or?
Yes, they had midwives. Yes.
Mine was born in a hospital or the midwife?
Born in the hospital.
Was you born?
I was born in the hospital. Mind you, years back in the day, the doctors used to come to the house.
All right.
And the thing about it, they would come to your house and see about you. And a lot of times you didn't have money to give to the doctor, so you would give them whatever you had. You give them a chicken. You give them corn. You give them, I said, whatever.
Oh, man, I like
You had to worry about because you didn't have the money to be able to support the doctor. But the doctor took that. And they enjoyed coming and making house calls back in the day. Doctors today, they don't come to your house. You got to go to them. And if you got 5 minutes or 10 minutes late, sometimes they'll cancel your appointment.
They sure did my mama like that. They kept the placenta, they kept milking through the placenta. Okay.
God is good.
Yes, he is.
Well, Mr. Troy, I don't know about him. But I thank God because back in the day, there was a lot of things that you would appreciate today. Knowing that the things that you went through, and knowing going to school. The school that I went to when I first went to school was they only had 2 rooms. The whole school, it only had 2 rooms for the students. And mind you, it was nothing like today, but we appreciated what we had. And a lot of times we didn't have cars to be able to go from one place to the other, so we did a lot of walking. And mind you, we did miles and miles of walking to be able to get to some place. Because I remember when my father was younger, he went to Kentucky, to Lexington, and it was a snowstorm. The storm was so bad that the car stopped on him. They called for Bishop Rollins to be able to come to the place that he was. And Bishop Rollins got there, and my father got frostbitten by being out there. Because like I said, if you stay in snow too long, you become frostbitten. And it's not an easy thing, but Bishop Rollins was a man that took care of the saints. He didn't mind taking care of the saints. He would, like I said, the thing about it, there was no limitation on him to say, well, I can't do this because I'm the chief apostle. He was not like that. He was a down-to-earth person. And I thank God for him. And knowing that we didn't have televisions, but we had a radio. And a lot of times we listen to the radio, we hear the programs that you hear today, that you see today on television, but it was on the radio. And you hear Hopalong Cassidy. And to be able to hear the horses, and they would use different type of things to make it sound like a horse. Like the horse walking and everything like that. You're on the radio. That's why I used to like the radio station that I used to listen to. They had these late night, they would have different programs. And I used to enjoy them. But back in the day, you didn't have, and like I said, you'd be sitting there listening to the shows, and you sound like, oh yeah. Open the door and everything, like you hear the door opening and everything like that. Hear the door close, and then you hear somebody, the shadow knows.
Oh, yeah.
And all the shadow knows, and you be listening, you're sitting there in anticipation, trying to find out what's going to happen next. The shadow knows. And then it would go off and you would say, oh man, what's going on? And they say, you got to be able to tune in next week to be able to find out what the shadow knows. But it was interesting to be able to listen to all these things and to be able to know that back in the day, you was able to appreciate all these things.
Praise the Lord.
Praise.
Okay, sun is down and we're still in church. That's a good thing. Come on, Mother Wallace. Say, guess what? That's all. Live. Come on, Mother Wallace. Come on, musicians. You don't want to do that. Come on, musicians.
Come on, every man's about if you know these songs. You know one of them. Come on. Yeah, since you gotta talk to somebody. Oh, wow. Okay, this one is called Just a Little Talk with Jesus. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in. His life come heal my soul. It made my heart with love, and wrote my name above. Just a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Oh, just a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about my trouble. He will hear my faith. He will answer my cry. Now in the name where burning. You know that the fire is burning. Just a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Oh, y'all really know this. All right. Amazing. I'm gonna sing real slow like they do. Yes, great. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I see was great that all my heart to feel and raise my fear really. I pray just thee, that grace appears me out
I know the Bible is right, somebody's wrong.
I know, that ain't a back way back. That ain't no back.
You gonna sing over here.
I got a crown in the kingdom, ain't that good news?
I ain't saying that.
I got a crown in the kingdom, ain't that good news? I'm gonna lay down this world on the shoulder of my cross. Gonna take it home to Jesus, ain't that good news? Oh, I got a heart in hell, ain't that good news? Oh, I got a heart in hell, ain't that good news? So I'm gonna lay down this world on the shoulder of my cross. Gonna take it home to Jesus, ain't that good news? All right, you know this. Go ahead. You got this. You go out your way and say. Go there, Mo. Go there, Mo.
Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt, tell Pharaoh to let my people go.
And Israel was in Egypt.
Let my people go.
Press so hard, they could not stay.
Let my people go down, Moses, way down in Egypt, I know the Bible is right.
Oh, God, Lord. Somebody's wrong.
Oh, okay, wait. You gotta get it right before you die. If you don't get it right, you won't meet him in the sky. I know the Bible is right. Oh, I know the Bible is right. I know the Bible is right. You can't do this and you can't do that. You can't get to heaven with Satan on your back. I said the Bible's right. I know the
We thank God for we thank God for all that has went forward. And if you want to look at all the back in the day things on the table after service is over, please do so. Please don't touch unless you ask. Some of them are different peoples and we have borrowed some of them, so we want to make sure it gets back in the right hand the way that we received it. We would like to turn it into our pastor's hand.
Amen.
Amen.